Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Nigerian movie recap. Today I will review a Nigerian movie titled Breaded Life. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Breaded Life relates the story of an irresponsible young man, Somisola, a wealthy brat who has everything but never seems to know how to behave the right way. The movie shows a series of altercations between him and his mother and how she disapproved of his unruly behavior. Sadly for him, a day he will never forget came so fast and he learns about the reality of life the hard way. On this mysterious day, Somi's mother, his family members and all the people he knows do not remember him except for a local bread seller, Todewade. With no place to live or anybody to take him in, he has no choice but to seek refuge with Todewade, a spoiled rich kid who have never worked a day in his life, out in the cold world without a penny in his name and knows little to nothing about how the world works. In no time, the life in the ghetto dialed on him, from drinking pap with akara to bathing with local sponge. But as days goes by, Somi begins to adapt to the ghetto lifestyle, following Todewade to sell bread as well as doing other side job which eventually got him into trouble but was bailed out by Todewade. After a while, the weight of feeding and harboring Somi became too much on Todewade. She set out with him to find a job for him in the ghetto. This adventure starts with their visit to Tao, one of the regular customers of Todewade, whom is believed to know the whereabouts of Jobe, another local champion, whom she knows will certainly help Somi get a job. Tao helped them in getting to Jobe, and Somi wasted no time in displaying his Ajebota strength without knowing the proper way to greet in the ghetto. After much persuasion by Todewade, Jobe gave in despite his suspicion of Somi having an affair with Todewade, even though she had continuously called him her brother. Jobe directed them to Jugunu, a local bakery owner who loves money and women, most especially Todewade, whom he claims to love. That kind of love, sha. After much persuasion, despite Jugunu's perception that Somi had an affair with Todewade, just like Jobe did, he gave in, offering Somi a job in his local bakery. Somi resumes work and was focused on making a living for himself, even though it wasn't easy for an Ajebota to live an Ajabako lifestyle. Somi strived through the hard work in the bakery with so much energy and dedication, one which is loved and admired by Jugunu. He started fending for himself after consecutive pay from his boss. Despite being a bakery and delivering boy, a food seller fell in love with the handsome Somi. She put up a show with her asset to lure Somi to her, but his newfound life had no place for those things. Eventually, he left Todewade's place to rent his own apartment to reduce the burden on her. Their once rigid relationship began to loosen as they began to understand each other more than ever. Somi had adopted fully to the ghetto life and it seemed as if he was never rich. One day, he gifted Todewade a bread counter where she can display her bread rather than move around with it. In between this sudden new life of Somi, a natural local love sprouted between him and Todewade. They eventually had their first kiss, with series of true romantic moments between them. Their love becomes stronger as they stand in for each other in trying times. Another major moment of this movie comes on when Somi convinces Jugunu to expand his bakery, making bread for the rich and as well as the locals. Jugunu sees the light but wasn't ready to leave the ghetto. He helped Somi in getting a loan and a new well-designed outlet was set up and managed by Somi and Todewade. This recent success was accompanied by the new 3-bedroom apartment rented by Somi for himself and Todewade. It was at this point he finally asked her to marry him, which created humor. This bimbo of a girl, she mothered this role of a local girl. Kudos to her. She accepted after little local shakara. You know girls' life now, they go always form. Somi was happy and his life was finally getting back together till the day Auntie Agi visited the bakery to get bread. In seeing Somi, she was excited and fulfilled, but she had finally found him after a series of futile search for him. Somi refused to believe her as she chased her out of the outlet, just like they rejected him after 5 years ago. This threw a bit of confusion into the movie. To Sumi, his family intentionally disowned him by pretending not to remember him, but to Auntie Age, he has been missing for a long while and they have done everything in their power to find him, which she said had broken his mother's heart. During this argument, Sumi falls to the ground only to wake up from a coma in the hospital. Opening his eyes to his mother and Auntie Age, he could only utter the word, "Where is my wife, Tedewedo?" A rather strange statement to his mother and Auntie Age, as they had no clue of what he's talking about. They told him he has been in a coma for 16 days after an accident he encountered the night he left the house after that heated conversation with the mother. Slowly, he eventually comes to understand that his life in the ghetto was another life he lived while in the coma. He told his mom of all his experiences, of everyone he met in the neighborhood, from Nora the rapper, his colleague Care Who Care For You in the bakery, Jugunu, the bakery owner who was so nice to him, Risky Baby, the fool seller who has a thing for him, and Tedewedo, who he fell in love with, people he described as family. He went on how marveled he was with the love they showed him, irrespective of the fact he had nothing. At last, Sumi and his mother had a perfect mother and son conversation. This was where he finally told his mom his plan and dream, which is to run a better design bakery to make a living. Sumi described his experience in the coma as God's way of resetting his brain and showing him his purpose and the right path. The film draws to an end when Sumi saw Tedewedo on the way. He had approached her, but she doesn't seem to remember or have a memory of what he experienced in the coma. The only thing she knows is that he is friends with Iski, their former gate man. He invited her to the mansion the next day by promising to buy all the bread, ending the film in a better way. The movie Breaded Life is a true life story of events happening around us mixed with fiction, as it shows the life experience of the rich, poor, and the life challenges both parties go through. I hope you enjoyed this movie. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, and comment. I love you all.